All right, if you're a veteran fan of the Sonic franchise, you would know what happened during the 2010s, and this is going to be my point of view of what was during the 2010s era of Sonic, which is probably Sonic's like worst time to be around, mostly because the franchise almost died during this era or decade. This whole decade, Sonic could have literally died if it wasn't for Sonic Mania. So without further ado, let's start off with Sonic Boom. When Sonic Boom was announced, a lot of people didn't like the designs of the main cast, which was Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy. And the Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric was fucking horrendous. Like, there's no way to sugarcoat it. People hated this game. Not only was this game rushed because originally it was made for a different software, but since Sega made a deal with Deke, I believe, they wanted to change the name to Sonic Boom instead of Sonic Synergy, and this game was and still is known as probably the worst Sonic game next to Sonic 06. This game has so many glitches and bugs, and this was going to be Sonic for this time. Like, they wanted this to be a big thing, but it just turned out being fucking horrendous. I wasn't aware of the game. I was aware of the TV show, and I will admit, the TV show was one of the only things praised about Sonic Boom at this time. I kid you not. The only good thing during this era was the TV show and the Sonic Dash 2 game, which I like the Dash 2 game. I've already said it in my other video. I really enjoyed that game. And me being a kid, I didn't really understand the hate towards Sonic. I really didn't understand what the fuck was going on. I just liked Sonic for Sonic. And I didn't really picture Boom Sonic as my Sonic, so it really didn't matter to me. However, Sonic Forces, when that got announced, people were like, oh my god, Modern Sonic is back, Sonic Team is back, because the game was marketed as this super serious game. Sonic losing, Eggman takes over, like, people thought this was going to be a darker story for Sonic, and people were excited. And then we got the piece of shit we know as Sonic Forces. This game generally sucked. I was never bored with a Sonic game like Forces before. There was no challenge whatsoever. The game was so underwhelming, and fuck, it should have been called false advertising, because this is not what I was expecting. And a lot of fans weren't expecting this. And then Mario Odyssey came out, and Mario Odyssey was doing numbers, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came out, which also did numbers. So Sonic's first mainline game in a whole minute just left fans disappointed, because we just had Sonic Boom and now we had Forces. The good thing about the 2010s was Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania was Sonic's best reviewed game up to this point, and I don't blame them. This game was great. I love Sonic Mania, and I did as a kid as well. And then we could blame Tomy for the lack of merchandise for Sonic. They kept missing deadlines, which made a lot of fans mad, because they're expecting some of these figures to be released, and all they were giving us were Sonic Boom alternate figures. Like, we do not need them. Like, tell me, who's going to need a Muddy Tails figure in their collection? The best pieces of merch I believe they made are their plushes. I still own the plushes to this day. Well, some of them, not all of them. I do own some of the plushes, and I would say that these are some of the best Sonic plushes we've gotten. And their best Sonic figure was the Collector's Classic Sonic, which I had for years, and then it kind of broke over time. So that figure was well reviewed by fans. A lot of people loved that figure, and it is still known as the best classic Sonic figure to this day. But that's pretty much it. That's all of the nice things I have to say about Tomy. They always missed their deadlines. They were never consistent, and all they gave us were just Sonic Boom variant figures that nobody needed. And me being a kid, I just got whatever was in stores, honestly. I would mostly collect Sonic plushes anyways, so that really didn't bother me that much. I would always get the plushes from mostly Amazon or whatever was in stores. But for figures, I would get those in stores. And I actually did get my first Jazzware Sonic later on, because I really did not like the Tomy Modern Sonic. I just got the Jazzware Sonic instead. And then he kind of just broke, because those figures are really fragile. And the 2010s was just Sonic being known as being a big joke in the gaming world. Like, it was just a sad time to be a Sonic fan. The franchise literally could have died if it wasn't for Sonic Mania. And then later on, towards the end of the 2010s era of Sonic, we got the Sonic movie trailer, the 2019 one, and people just did not like that design. Like, you just had to be there to experience the phenomenon of what the first Sonic movie design was, because generally, people were like, what the fuck is this? And I was too. Like, this looked nothing like Sonic. And the reasoning why they made this is because they didn't want Sonic to look like he's a Disney character. And the hate got so bad that they actually had to change the design of Sonic. And I'm glad they listened, because if they stuck with that design, Sonic would not be kicking anymore. Honestly, the movies saved the franchise. Like, Mania only saved it for a little while, because that was just one game. The 3 movies, without those, we honestly probably wouldn't be getting shit right now. Getting Sonic clothing and Sonic merchandise other than the toys was also really difficult at this time. Because you guys have to understand, Sonic wasn't as big as he is now. And I'm genuinely glad kids are able to experience the Sonic now that they have with the movies, the cartoons, and the Jakks Pacifics, which is my favorite Sonic toy line now. They've made the best Sonic figures I have ever seen. And I hope that Sonic continues to go on for another 2 decades or so, because Sonic is my favorite character. Because being a Sonic fan, during this time, Sonic's franchise literally could have just died out of nowhere. So I wouldn't even be getting anything Sonic. Like, there would be no games, no merchandise, no nothing. So I thank the movies for making an impact on what they did for the franchise. But that's just my personal view of what happened during the 2010s era of Sonic. So with everything being said, I'll catch you guys in my next video.